a clue. Each note they sing feels strangely new. They lead too far, they pull you near, but the truth of the rooster disappears. The roosters are illusions. They fade into the sky. Echoes in the distance, but never passing by. You change the call. You climb the hill.
Welcome to Clown World.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Oh, well. Let me fix this. Nope. Which one is it? There we are. Ha. All right. First off, I want to say sorry about the late night. I had a rough time getting everything together, but I figured this news is so pressing, I had to go ahead with it. Last time I didn't have audio, so let me know if there's no audio this time. But all right. First off, I just want to mention, despite all the fedslop out there, there's only been 3 dead, 5 wounded Americans that they're talking about, something along those lines. And with the Operation Epstein Fury, there's been close to 100 American service members killed. all the sources I can find tell that. I'm working on a story that I'm putting on my investigative journalism site right now called mordoAI. I'll have everything fully sourced on there, but I'm still working on the Iranian part of it. But I mean, I do have the last anniversary up right now, which I'll show you all a bit of here shortly. But listen, I'm just gonna get to the meat and potatoes right here at the beginning because we're in World War III, whether anyone wants to believe it or not. Now, I suck at this live streaming stuff, so you'll have to pardon my candor and my nervousness, whatever. But I'm sure I'll sort of get in the zone as we go on here. So let me start at the beginning. I started having all these problems and knew I was over the mark whenever I started advertising for this hoodie, and it's got "End Zionism, Save America" on the sleeve, right? And got banned from Facebook for life once I started advertising it. Let's see, my domain is permanently down, my website, my personal one, where I was actually selling these, so I made a workaround. If you guys are interested, it's in the little ticker. But anyway, the reason I believe that we're actually in it now, all these sources coming out of North Korea and a few in the Americas with people that have family back in North Korea, said that Kim Jong-Un has placed troops within the battle zone somewhere around Iran or in Iran. I'm not positive on that. I will get down into the nitty gritty whenever I do my report, which I'm going to try and have out by tomorrow evening, hopefully. It should be out by then, no problem. Anyway, and the thing that's the most chilling about this, Kim Jong-un reportedly said that if a single one of his people are killed or harmed in the slightest, then the world is going to be a very different place. Now, that's chilling, knowing that they are one of the nuclear powers, and I think it's time that we unite as a country here in America and stop listening to the fedslop. We need to unite and get, first off, we need to get Israel out of our politics. Out completely. Everyone who's taken a single dime from Israel needs to get canned or face treason. We just need to unite and put our foot down to this because we are running out of time. I'm serious. This July could be the last anniversary that our country has as we know it. I mean, the dollar is losing its value more and more every day. Israel just today asked for another $80 billion, I believe, something like that, and to keep them safe. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. Everyone that took money from IPAC's got to go. To my knowledge, the only person that hasn't taken a dime is Massey so far. And the only answer is to start a third party that's independent of the two parties, where it's meet the new boss, same as the old boss, where each side feeds a little bit of the truth and a bunch of bullshit so that we're all fighting against each other all the time. Now, we all know a nation divided against itself cannot stand. And we need to be steadfast in the knowledge that 2026, we serve a different empire. It is beyond denial that we are beholden to Israel and the demands of Benjamin Netanyahu. It is these people that are running around claiming to be all about America that are, half of them are suing Israel right now because they haven't been paid their shekels for, being all out, diehard, whatever, Zionist this, Zionist that. But it's those that are conflating Zionism with Judaism that are destroying the image of the Jewish people. It is not the people that are anti-Zionist. Now, I don't see how anyone can really make that confusion, but because there's so many people out there that are conflating the two on the side of Israel, they're doing it on purpose. They're doing just like in World War II when all the Jews got thrown under the bus in Germany to the German people. And if you can't see the parallels, then I mean, you need to get your head checked, plain and simple. We're going to end up being the next Germany if we do not end this now. The Zionists are known for throwing everyone under the bus that doesn't agree with them, and we've got people like Jared Kushner, the one that was responsible over there for making sure that they sat down to the table with talks with Iran about the whole nuclear armament, or de-armament, should I say, business. And the fact of the matter is they've been working with the International Atomic Energy Association, Commission, whatever it's called. They've been working very closely with them, actually. And they have been for a while. They've made all sorts of written agreements saying they had no plans to up the ante when it came to their nuclear technology, should I say, where they were only looking to power their place. And, I mean, why would they be begging for liberty from us when we're the ones that helped install the Ayatollah and took their freedom? Because they, not so long ago, had more freedom than America has. Believe it or not, it was a lot like America over there. Then the CIA installed the Ayatollah, along with some help from Germany and I think Israel, some other places. Anyway, it was meant to destabilize and make the leadership beholden to, you know, the demands of the West. And it didn't work. I mean, to them, the Muslim community, the Ayatollah is like the Pope. They see him as a holy figure and, you know, supreme like law. Like they respected him at the very least. I'm not saying he was a good person by any means. I don't really know a whole lot about him, but I have done some pretty good studies, and I've been listening to a lot that former UN weapons inspector Scott Ritter had to say. And considering he's the one that refused to say that Iraq had WMDs because they legitimately didn't, he got canned. And I mean, ever since then, it's not like he's been holding a grudge, but he's been telling it like it is, because he has studied these people. He studied these cultures. He knows what he's talking about. And as hard as he is to watch sometimes, due to the tick that he has with the blinking and stuff, the man isn't stupid. He knows what he's talking about. Now, they are, I think they just met yesterday with their I think it was like the League of Scholars or something like that, something along those lines. I'm bad with verbiage. I record the main idea of things in my mind rather than the exact wording. However, they met, and from what I've heard so far, they are planning on installing the Ayatollah's son, who has been taking care of his affairs all this time anyway, and taking care of his socials and all this other stuff. There are millions over there in the streets chanting his name and how he's a martyr and all this. We've just strengthened Iran. And from everything I've heard from sources that actually know what they're talking about and have nothing to lose in the game, no skin in the game, you know, they are all saying that we are having issues with running out of ammunition anyway. And now with North Korea over there, it's about to pop off, and we are running out of time to do something as a people. Now, I'm not saying do anything crazy whatsoever. There's actually some fairly simple things that we can do to get this country on the right track, especially with midterms coming up. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over to live scene here.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
So I can screen share, and right here, I got it on the article that I mentioned before, the last anniversary, and you can check it out yourself at mordoAI. And basically, here's the premise on what the article is about. On July 4th, 2026, America will celebrate 250 years of independence. Unless we act now, it will be the last anniversary that word means anything. In 1776, our founders declared freedom from a king who ruled by divine right, not considered the governed, sent armies to foreign lands for crown enrichment, criminalized dissent as treason, taxed colonists to fund wars they opposed, and served the interests of empire over the people. In 2026, we serve a different empire, not British, Israeli. Now, there's a video of this also that I it's AI themed. The whole thing's AI themed. I got stuck with the domain. I had to work with it, but I don't make a dime off of it. So I too have no skin in the game other than trying to wake this country up so we can do what we can with the little time we have. I mean, Trump is just trying to basically make a name for himself because someone probably, the last person in the room probably whispered in his ear. I'm going to smack whoever that is. Anyway, last person in the room probably whispered in his ear and just told him basically, he's got this thing where the last person in the room to say something, suggest something of his bootlickers, basically he ends up doing. And with Jared Kushner coming back and saying that they weren't complying with the demands of the IAEA or whatever, and he's basically, Kushner has screwed us, and that he's got a good spot in the president's ear, considering what it's his son-in-law, right? Oh wow, 15 viewers. Anyway, but Kushner, him and Steve Bannon are known for pushing America like vocally toward the fourth turning. I mean, you got Bannon, who was dear friend of Epstein and always go palling around with them, and then you've got Kushner, who is known for the same thing, and they've both publicly been vocalizing in the past how they are all about the fourth turning. And if you're not familiar with that, basically, the United States of America has been on its downfall for quite a while. Ever since JFK, we've been beholden to foreign masters. And I mean, the only difference now is they're bold enough to not really try and hide it anymore. And I mean, they can bullshit us all we want to, but it's blatantly obvious. There are thousands and thousands, if not millions, that are running around that know exactly what's going on, and the number is going up ridiculously by the day. And despite what influencers are basically bootlicking all over X saying, I mean, I basically trust no one's word that claims to be Republican or Democrat. They're both two sides of the same coin, and even Ray Charles could see that, and he's both blind and dead. So it is what it is. But we need to stop with these things, these terms that they've used to separate us. It is time to unite as a people, because we are the people, and our government should be beholden to us. And it can be that way again. And there's some simple things we can do to make it so. Now, the big thing that's bothering most people is anti-Semitism. That's the word that stops you from sharing this video, from demanding answers, calling you representative. Let's be clear what that word means. Now, criticizing AIPAC's $100 million purchase of Congress, anti-Semitism. Questioning Israel's recognition of Somaliland for military bases, anti-Semitism. And if you're not hip to why I just said that with Somaliland, Israel recognized Somaliland as a sovereign nation at, coincidentally, the same time that the headlines blew up about the Somali fraud going on in Minnesota. And if you're not fully read into that, the part that everyone's missing, and they are leaving out on purpose in every single report on both sides of the aisle, is basically we are paying for Israel's purchase of Somaliland. They have been sending people from Gaza over to there. Trump was even paying $5,000 a person to people that voluntarily hopped on a plane and went over to Somaliland from Gaza. Yeah, guess what? That is where Israel, coincidentally not, has its base, and they've been shipping people over there, so there's no cameras around to see what is done to them. Go figure. And all right, so basically in the 80s, there were some plans drawn up, a list of these countries that Israel basically wanted taken out by us, unspokenly. And every country on that map has been flattened except for now Iran, which happens to be the oldest and most organized of all the countries in the Middle East. Now, back to Somalia, the Somali elites are getting the money from our taxpayer dollars and all this fraud, and have been since George Bush was president. Every single president since George Bush has been looking the other way and allowing this fraud to take place. There's been billions sent over there, and it's all payment for Somaliland so that Israel will have control over it, so that they have their spot in the Strait of Hormuz, and right across the waterway from old Iran there. Doesn't sound like a coincidence to me, even though it may appear to one to the untrained eye, or hell, anyone's eye. Ray Charles could see that one too, but yeah, most people aren't even paying attention to that. Somaliland, who even really knows in the mainstream that Somaliland is kind of a separated piece of Somalia? Not many, but I kid you not, that is where Israel is expanding their Holy Land to, other than just trying to take up the entire Middle East. And they've already set their sights on Turkey and are trying to talk our government into invading Turkey next, or bombing it, whatever they have planned. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm sure you don't either. Especially with North Korea now entering the scene, which is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, I mean, think about it. North Korea, you don't see Kim Jong-Un like sending troops to other countries on the regular. I mean, means business. I'm guessing, I haven't read too much into the situation, because I thought it was imperative that we get this word out so we can head off the fedslop at the curb whenever it starts rolling on the news tomorrow morning. You're probably going to hear nothing of North Korea, and everyone on X is just going to be spouting, traitors, anti-Semites, they hate Jews. Just wade through the fedslop. I mean, take a page out of Candace's book, whether you like her or not. You know, she's not entirely wrong, if wrong at all. But people, we have to not be afraid of words. They're just words. Now, about what the word means. Asking why Minnesota fraud went viral the same day as Somaliland recognition. Anti-Semitism. I've been trying to get Nick Shirley to even read the article that I did about this, and he won't even acknowledge it. And I've got the blue check pretty much everywhere, and I've been hammering his socials with this fact. Hell, I've been hammering everyone's socials, Ian's, everybody's, and no one has even acknowledged it. And I feel like that's a pretty important part of the whole fraud thing. And I've gathered all this from publicly obtainable information. I don't have any special sources. I just read. That is it. Anyhow, now, Boston Consulting Group, they're the ones that modeled the Palestinian ethnic cleansing. Talking about that, anti-Semitism. Opposing the illegal invasion of Venezuela for oil, anti-Semitism. Somehow, that one's beyond me. And defending the First Amendment, that is the big one here, people. Our constitutional rights have been shattered by those that wrote the bill so vaguely that it is incredibly easy to conflate conflate Zionism with anti-Semitism. Yeah, wow, words, right? But defending the First Amendment against the H.R. 6090 has been labeled anti-Semitism because they want you afraid. That is the entire system. Now, not afraid of prison. I'm sure prison may come later. Who knows? If I disappear, you know I'm in prison or dead, and I'm not suicidal. So keep that in mind, please, and look for me. Or don't. I don't care. I've been prepared for a while. Now, people are afraid of social death, or they're hoping that you're afraid of social death, career ruin, being cast out, because they know Americans will endure tyranny if the alternative is being called a name. Now, that's pretty damn pathetic. And I'm all about anti-safe spaces. Make America offensive again. I mean, hell, was it not the most hilarious of the Jews who modeled the comedy that is so it's so American, like the offensive comedy? They made it great, and they need to end whatever happened during that writer strike and make comedy great again, because comedy has been shit for the most part. And without it, we've been divided. I mean, look at most all comedy like prior to those writer strikes. It was pretty much all awesome, and it was based on offensive things. Look at all the 90s movies, the best of the movies. And even the 2000s, the early on, like, offensive comedy. And that's what America was known for, and we no longer have that. All the great writers seem to have taken a hike after the 2 writer strikes that occurred. Yeah, there may have been unfair stuff going on in Hollywood that made them strike or quit, whatever, but there's plenty of problems America has. That's just one of many that I'm sure if you dug hard enough that you could take it back to something involving the death of JFK, deep state, or Israel taking over our government slowly over the last, 50 years? I'm bad with math, so you do the math. But our founders faced actual death, people. Torture, their families murdered, their homes burned, and they signed the Declaration knowing that they would hang if they lost. Where is our balls, metaphorically speaking? I mean, we're afraid of Twitter ratios and HR complaints, and let me tell you why that's actually anti-Semitic, or what's actually anti-Semitic. Allowing Netanyahu to commit genocide while claiming to speak for all Jews. I mean, he's over there all like, the Americans are trying to wage World War II. That's his words, not mine. Like, the majority of young American Jews oppose Israeli policy. Holocaust survivors have condemned Gaza as genocide. Jewish Voice for Peace, If Not Now, Jews for Ceasefire, those are all organizations with actual Jews that are begging the world to stop conflating Zionism with Judaism, because it's those people that are running around X right now calling everyone that's against the war anti-Semites and all this other stuff. They're the ones that are actually hurting the Jews. And they don't even see it that way because they are brainwashed with fedslop. That's got to go, people. The time is now, and we are seriously running out of time. Before, we were just running out of time before midterms and needing a third party that's actually America first. But now, we've got World War III pressing on our heads, and we started it. And most of the world hates us for it. I mean, it is what it is. You can believe the fedslop, or you can actually do your research and stop being in echo chambers. Stop listening to these nonsense. If you notice, the term for people that are doing what I'm doing now was not called influencer prior to the Republicans taking all the majority of seats in D.C. They weren't called influencers. I don't even recall what they were called, but all right. The left has had the mainstream media on their side, along with the CIA, and the right historically has had military intelligence, specifically Army intelligence and Air Force intelligence, and their disinformation wing is influencers, because the influencers are just going to echo chamber whatever the government says while the Republicans are in power, right? Right. Now, I've had the luxury of not even being political in the slightest and not even really knowing politics prior to COVID, but I've had nothing better to do than try and sift through the fedslop on both sides. Now, I've been historically all about limiting big government and bringing power back to the states like the Founding Fathers intended it, but now I'm just what it takes. I am backing whatever it takes to defend this country, to defend this Constitution the way it was intended by the Founding Fathers, not this nonsense and bullshit that is going on all around us now. I mean, it's sad that we're living in a world where we have access to more information than ever, and yet we are sitting back and listening to influencers for our truth. We need to... I know most people don't have time these days, and it's hard to read, but there are videos out there. I mean, I take all my videos, I make them almost, if not word for word, with my articles. I got an AI flair or spin to it, like theme, but I have every single fact of every single article sourced fully and make it incredibly available. Now you're probably thinking, who the hell is this guy anyway? Yeah, I'm not very heard of. I don't even pay to promote my shit like most people do. I don't care about promoting. I just care about the people, and I know that truth is self-evident, and you can't hide it forever. You can't hide it for long. And hell, it's almost 3 in the morning, so I'm gonna just get moving. I'm not gonna try and defend myself and where I stand and try and get you to believe me, but I'm gonna lay the facts out there, and you can go and verify each and every one of the things I say in this video. And soon, with the North Korean and Iran aspect of things, with my next article that I'm going to have up within 24 hours. But if my site happens to go down, then you know that someone along the lines of Mossad probably did exactly what they did to my personal domain for selling these hoodies. I mean, it is what it is. But what I'm going to go ahead and do, so I can get a drink and take a breath here, because I've just been 110% full ass on this thing since I started. I'm going to go ahead and play a bit of the video version of the last anniversary for you while I catch my breath here. So, yeah, here we go. Now, here's what should be the 250th anniversary ultimatum. July 4th, 2026 is the last chance. Let me know if you can hear that. Not because of arbitrary timing, because the symbolic weight matters. And also because primaries are coming up. Or midterms, I should say. Pardon me. If we reach 250 years of independence, while Israeli lobby controls our government completely, our military invades for... Now, I'll tell you something. Tell me I look more like Jim Carrey in this than Jim Carrey did in all this makeup fedslop going around lately. Everyone knows that wasn't him, or they should anyway. There was a video on doing his makeup. Anyway, I'll proceed. Foreign interests. Our government, or our First Amendment, is nullified. Our citizens are too afraid to speak truth, and our children face debt slavery and foreign wars. Then the Declaration of Independence was a lie. Not in 1776, now, retroactively. Because everything our ancestors fought for, every death at Valley Forge, Normandy, every sacrifice across 250 years was meaningless if we surrender it to avoid being called names. This is the test. Not whether we can win wars, not whether we can build technology, not whether we can create wealth. Whether we can stay free, whether we have the courage that farmers in 1776 had when they faced the British Empire, whether we're worthy of what they built. Based on the current trajectory, we're not. If you're watching this, then you are the resistance, not because you're special, because you're willing to look. Now, immediately, I need you to share this video. Don't ask permission. Don't worry about being called anti-Semitic. They're counting on your silence. Call your representatives, every single one. Demand repeal of H.R. 6090, IPAC prosecution under FARA, congressional investigation of Venezuela invasion, Somaliland, Minnesota timing investigation, cut all aid to Israel until Gaza ceasefire. Primary challenge every IPAC-funded representative. Both parties. Find candidates who will sign a pledge. No foreign lobby money, period. Organize locally. Town halls, county meetings, school boards. They can control D.C., but they can't control everywhere if we mobilize. Support whistleblowers. mordoAI's secure whistleblower submission portal has launched. If you have evidence, release it. November 2026. Vote out every IPAC-funded incumbent, every single one. No exceptions, no lesser evil. If they took the money, they're compromised. Now beyond 2026, build a constitutional America First party. Not Trump's America First, which funds Israel and invades Venezuela and Greenland, coming to a country near you, maybe. Actual America First. constitutional governance, no foreign entanglements, Washington's farewell address as policy platform, demand international investigation, ICC, UN, everybody, Venezuelan invasion, Somaliland recognition, Palestinian transfer plans, all documented war crimes. Economic boycott, BDS works, that's why they criminalized it. Start anyway. Arrest us all, see what happens when millions refuse compliance. Prepare for backlash. They will call you anti-Semitic, racist, extremist, terrorist. Expect it, embrace it. It means you're over the target. It means you're a patriot. Now the truth that they fear most. We outnumber them by millions. IPAC has money. We have numbers. Alright guys, I'm gonna go back to just me.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Yeah, sorry, I enjoy the theatrics there, if you can't tell, but you get the general point of what I'm saying here. I lost my train of thought. I got into listening to myself there. I don't know. Anyway, you get the general point though, and you can catch that. The channel's at mordoAI, all one word, MORDO. If you want to check out the whole video, but they have Congress, we have the people. Out of there. Anyhow, basically, if we start an America First party that isn't Republican or Democrat, isn't beholden to their rules, then we can actually get somewhere. All we have to do is make sure that the party is platformed with Washington's farewell address. Now, that is the only route that I can conceive of, and that many I've talked to can conceive of, that hits the target. It gets us out of these foreign nonsensical things. And if we do these things that I mentioned in the video, then we can be steered into the general right direction. And it's literally the only thing we can do at this point. I mean, we can scream until our lungs until we're blue in the face, but it's not gonna do anything. We actually have to take action, and I forgot.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Now, here's basically everything I said, but if we do that, we can see the Gaza ceasefire within weeks, if there's even people left by then. Somaliland recognition withdrawn, which isn't a big deal, but maybe, just maybe, our taxpayer dollars would actually stop going over to the Somalian elites as payment for Israel's transaction in the first place. Now, heck, you can read and you get the general idea, but we hold all the cards. We just gotta stop being too afraid to play them. Now, I must say that the parallels are absolutely insane between us and Weimar area Germany. Now, in 1940s, the world watched European Jews loaded onto trains and did nothing. They're like, it's not our problem, too complicated, what can we do? We know how that story ends, for the most part. But I'm not going to get into that. We're the Germans in that story, the ones who didn't know what the camps were for, who were just following orders, who didn't want trouble, who bought the fedslop from the Zionists. Except we do know the evidence is public. Boston Consulting Group's transfer model. You can find it online. Trump's voluntary relocation proposal of $5,000 per person relocated to Somaliland. You can find it online. Wesley Clark's Pentagon memo with Somalia on the list, on the target list since 2001. You know, places that they wanted flattened so they could basically expand their holy land onto. And the Israel-Somaliland recognition for military bases, I mean, that came out in headlines the exact same day. And with the timing, the whole Minnesota propaganda blitz that Nick Shirley was either witting or unwitting pawn to, I don't know. But he was only sharing half the story. So when Somali bones build Israel's new Holy Land, when Palestinian families are scattered across East Africa to die in refugee camps, and when American soldiers patrol Berbera for oil tanker routes, and the nearly 100, maybe it's more now, that have already been killed in this Iran conflict that we started. We started. Thank you, Jared Kushner, because your lies and bullshit totally got us as being in the history books for starting World War III. And I don't want my children or grandchildren to be debt slaves to the next world power, which, by the way, it's looking here. I mean, Israel holds all the cards with these tech companies. NVIDIA, all of their technicians and developers graduated at Technion Tech over in Israel. And it seems like all those things that all the AI technology that no one's supposed to be selling to China, well, guess what? Israel's been selling it to China the entire time. How do you think that China just happens to know every single bit of technology advances we have in AI and then mimics it with the exact same code, and then right after you soon find out later that they've released it to the public for free just to take our power? They got it from Israel. Israel has all the tech companies, like the big offices of all the ones that matter, from the ones controlling the companies that are putting out memory chips to NVIDIA. That's probably the biggest one. I mean, they even have Intel over there. I mean, it's absolutely insane the power that they have. And they're having these backdoors that we always hear China spying on us. Well, the United States and Israel are 20,000 times worse. Every single smart TV in your house, they can listen to you through that. There's backdoors. Every single speaker, if you reverse the polarity, it becomes a microphone. It's that simple. They don't even have to have some extracurricular microphone. So if you're paranoid schizophrenic, might as well just rip all the speakers out of everything in your house. Anyway, you see, I particularly don't care. I've got nothing to hide, and I'm sure they've been watching me through my webcam, so I made sure to put on a good show for them the other day when nothing was working inexplicably. And by the way, at mordoAI, my secure whistleblower platform, it got completely wrecked because it just came to my awareness the other day that my whistleblowing platform was completely deleted from my server database. And I wonder how that happened, because I have a lot of security, and the average person would not be able to get around it. Hell, Claude Code couldn't even figure out a logical path through it. He's the one that helped me. Well, the AI model is the one that helped me harden it in the first place, and I double-checked everything before implementing it. And yet, someone made it through, left no trace, and completely deleted an entire Docker container full of what I thought was extremely secure stuff that only had a path to the internet through a Tor link, basically. But that's neither here nor there. There was more security, but I'm not going to get into that right now because it's not important. Just know that don't use that platform until I get it back up, and it'll come back with a fury. But if the founding fathers were alive and had the ability to speak today, then they would be furious. They would call for revolution immediately. Not because things are hard, but because we've surrendered everything that those brave men died to create. They faced the most powerful empire on earth at the time with muskets and willpower. We face a lobby with checkbooks, and we've surrendered without firing a single shot. Patrick Henry was all like, give me liberty or give me death. And we chose, give me comfort and I'll ignore tyranny. Thomas Jefferson, the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. But we're letting the tree die rather than face social disapproval. And Ben Franklin, a republic, if you can keep it. We're giving it away for IPAC endorsements and media approval because we're afraid of words. I mean, sticks and stones, people. July 4th, 2026 is the last chance. Not because of arbitrary timing, but because of the symbolic weight. That's what matters. If we reach 250 years of independence while Israeli lobby controls our government completely, military invades for foreign interests, our First Amendment is nullified, our citizens too afraid to speak truth, and our children face debt slavery and foreign wars. And to top it off, our country has so much corruption and lobbying from commercial entities that we might as well just sign over all of our property to Nabisco. I mean, come on, people. What is up with how far we have slid from the way our founding fathers envisioned this country? Because we know it wasn't just about religion that we came here for freedom of. It was freedom from usury. It was freedom from all of this taxation without representation. We are not free. We have lived with the illusion of freedom our entire lives, and it is time to take that freedom back and put it where it belongs, because we are human beings. We are divine, sovereign, and free, and we shouldn't be emboldening another entity that is foreign and basically running around as slaves, not even thinking twice about it. I mean, the Declaration of Independence has been made, especially as of this administration, so overtly a lie. Not in 1776, now, retroactively, because everything our ancestors fought for, every death at Valley Forge, Normandy, every sacrifice across 250 years was meaningless if we surrender it to avoid being called names. Now, this is a test, guys. Not whether we can win wars, not whether we can build tech, it's whether we can, or not whether we can create wealth, it's whether we can stay free. Whether we have the courage that farmers in 1776 had when they faced the British Empire, whether we're even worthy of what they built. Based on the current trajectory, we're not. Now, remember, you guys are the resistance, and I'm not even going to go over all the things I mentioned in the video before, because you can watch the video yourself. And we just need to be ready, because time is certainly running out. And on that note, I'm going to end it here. Don't forget to check out the article I'm going to be putting up with all the Iran stuff sourced, and maybe I can even get the attention of Colonel McGregor, or someone that can be a face that y'all can listen to the truth from, especially if you're tired of old people like Judge Napolitano. I don't know how to say it. They are good sources, though. Don't discredit them just because I said that, because it's good. But maybe I'll have one on someday. But until then, you guys, you got to spread the word. Share. Make a call to action, because we can do this without violence. We can do it the right way, and we can do it within the law. Because all we have to do is enforce the currently already existing laws, and things will right themselves in time. Remember that truth is always self-evident. Good night.
Pixels flash like ancient stars, 8-bit dreams in broken jars. Controllers buzz, my fingers fly, relentless drums they amplify. Itching the matrix back in the air, frequencies bending, I'm unaware. Anunnaki walkie-talkie, loud and clear. Signals pulsing, feeling near. Nintendo lights a neon spree. Bass drops hard, it's all we need.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.